This security camera above me represents the occipital lobe, and the occipital lobe is in charge of all visual processing. This pretty much is a metaphor for it because it's in charge of looking through the hallways and monitoring what's going on, so therefore that's how it represents the occipital lobe in the brain. This intercom represents the Broca's area. The Broca's area is in charge of speech, like whether or not you can talk or not. And pretty much the metaphor with the intercom is that if the intercom isn't working, then therefore the students can't understand what the intercom is saying. So that represents the Broca, because if the Broca is malfunctioned, then the person cannot say what they're trying to say and no one can understand what they're saying.
The deans on the right side represent the right hemisphere because they control the kids on the left. So the right hemisphere controls the left half of your body. That's how it's related.
This is the dean's office on the left side, and the dean's office on the left side controls the students on the right side. These deans represent the left hemisphere because the left hemisphere controls the right part of the body.
This is Mrs. Cool. She's my counselor, and she represents the temporal lobe because the temporal lobe is in charge of auditory processing, and the temporal lobe is mainly used in hearing because it takes sounds and interprets them in the brain. And pretty much students talk to our counselors and she listens to us to interpret what we want, and she therefore helps us by telling us what to do. Okay, this is the cafeteria. This represents the hypothalamus, which is in charge of hunger, thirst, and body temperature. And pretty much the cafe provides food and drinks.
This is the gym. This represents the amygdala because the amygdala in the brain controls aggression and anger. When people go to gym class and play sports, like volleyball, to get rid of their aggression and anger, and it's also a social activity, and the amygdala is involved with social activities as well.
This is the link.
Alright.
It represents the corpus callosum. The corpus callosum is the connector between the right and left hemisphere. It is the same thing as the link because it connects the two buildings together.
This is the bell.
Ding, ding.
And the bell controls when we move from class to class, just like the cerebrum, which controls our conscious thoughts.
So walking to class every day is like the medulla. The medulla controls unconscious functions, and going to class, you don't even have to think about it.
Bye, Shawna.
Wake up!
The pons controls arousal and sleep, just like the Slevenbrook.
The hippocampus in the brain controls memory processes. And just like that in Stevenson, we have our trophy case so we can go take a walk down memory lane and remember all of the great sports teams we've ever had.